Maxwell, who was deemed one of St. James' most wanted, facing additional charges. 29-year-old Leiko Maxwell, one of St. James' most wanted men, who was recently arrested, is now facing additional charges in relation to an incident in 2022. Maxwell was initially charged only with intent, 2 counts of possession of a prohibited weapon, using a firearm to commit a felony, and unauthorized possession of ammunition. The new charges are 2 counts of murder and 4 counts of only with intent. Reports were that approximately 5 p.m. on Sunday, October 9, 2022, a group of men was sitting at a shop in the community of Backwood when armed men traveling in a motor vehicle stopped and exited the vehicle. The men opened gunfire at the group, wounding multiple persons before escaping. 1 man later died at the hospital. Charges in relation to that incident were laid against Maxwell on Friday, November 8, 2024. He is waiting his court date. Kent Village residents concerned about being cut off by floods. Half marooned is how one resident of Kent Village in St. Catherine described the community's situation after the passage of Tropical Storm Raphael. "We are about 40% good," said the man to reporters who visited the area midday Tuesday. "We are half marooned." The major concern of this community member was that residents were cut off from the neighboring towns. Kent Village sits on the bank of a cobra near the Bagworth Gorge. During heavy rains, the gorge is often closed to vehicular traffic for the safety of motorists, as the road becomes impassable. With no public transport running and the clinic located in Bagwalk, access to the health care is making residents anxious. "What are you offering, pills or medication?" asked one man, mistaking the reporting team for government officials. He was among a small group of people gathered in a local bar engaged in a game of dominoes, even as the rain from Raphael continued. Throughout the storm, the district experienced light flooding on its roadway as well as water damage. The very bar that residents have chosen to shelter, it had water seeping down the floor from outside and dripping from roof. So too did the homes in areas, according to locals. With this excess amount of rain, a lot of people's belongings got wet, another resident explained. The area was also subject to landslides, as showers of rocks and debris tumbled down onto Windward roadway, in which reporters visited. It left sizable rocks scattered across the pavement, which is bordered on one side of the recovery and the other by bedrocks, which is prone for slippage. 7 police officers killed in crashes since the start of 2024. 7 members of the Jamaica Constabulary Force (JCF) have been killed in road crashes since the start of the year. The most recent incident occurred last week and involved Constable David Hamilton and Ramon Sterling. Constable Hamilton died as a result of injuries sustained after his vehicle collided with a Jamaica Urban Transit Company JUTC bus on Wednesday, while on Sunday, Constable Sterling, who was attached to the St. James Division, was killed in a crash along the Discovery Bay Main Road in St. Anne. Reacting to the latest deaths, Vice Chairman of the National Road Safety Council, Dr. Lucian Jones, expressed sadness. Meanwhile, he said the council is seeking to launch a public education campaign about road safety ahead of the Christmas holidays.
And it's always very poignant when a police dies because these are the ones who are commissioned to serve and protect. So it's very unfortunate in this context when we hear about a policeman dying on our roads. The general message to get out there for all road users and all drivers is the fact that we must cut our speed, the fact that we must wear our seatbelt, and that we must stay in our lane. Don't drink and drive, don't smoke marijuana and drive. If we obey all of these things which are enshrined in law, then we're going to have less and less fatal crashes and injuries. The National Road Safety Council is busy trying to get together a program so that we can mount a serious public education campaign for the months of November and December, when traditionally the numbers of crashes increase and there's all kind of grief and pain around about the Christmas time rather than joy and celebration.
Jamaican educators urged to do their research before moving abroad to teach. Jamaican teachers who are desirous of moving to the United Kingdom and other nations to work are being encouraged to do their research before making the move. The advice came from education consultant Larry Simpson, who was speaking at a virtual orientation seminar for Jamaican teachers in the UK. It comes amidst concern raised by Jamaican teachers in that nation regarding salary and career advancement. Mr. Simpson urged teachers to pay attention to the terms of their contracts. Meantime, UK Teacher Support Representative and trained teacher for over 2 decades, Carol Jump Graham, urged teachers to make sure that they are aware of the steps to achieve Qualified Teacher Status, or QTS, in the UK. QTS determines the level of teacher salary, among other things.
We need to try and understand the system that we are coming into. Do our research in our area. I guess most people have done that prior to signing their contract. But whilst here, a lot of persons going through their contract realize they did not understand. You're here already. It's not too late to revisit your contract and to see how you can be supported.
As you arrived as qualified teachers in your country, it should not take you longer than a year to gain QTS. This should be negotiated with your employer, preferably before you take up posts. As in most cases, it would be your agencies making the request for you. If you work in an academy, free school or private school, it is not a legal requirement. Make sure in your agreement you ask about the QTS, because if you don't ask, they will take it for granted that you don't know, and then they keep you on forever. So once you get appointed or the agency is recruiting you, just say to the agency that I would like to have my QTS as a part of this package. So once you get here, they should be putting it on. There's no way a teacher who is trained in Jamaica should be staying longer than a year before getting the QTS. There's no reason for that.
Power restored to storm-affected customers, stated JPS. The Jamaica Public Service, JPS, says it has restored electricity to all customers affected by outages due to Tropical Storm Rafael last week. JPS President and CEO Hugh Grant said all parishes had power restored as at 3 p.m. on Saturday. He said the only exception is one business customer in St. Catherine who is still without service due to access issues from swampy terrain. Grant said JPS is working on relocating the supply line to reconnect the customer promptly. I am very happy that we were able to restore our customers ahead of the tight timeline we set for ourselves and without any safety incident, Grant said in a statement Saturday evening. We are able to work close with the Minister of Energy, the Office of Utilities Regulation, various municipalities, members of parliament, and community representatives who helped us execute our strategy safely and quickly. Grant said JPS Incident Command Center has been deactivated, signaling a return to normal operations. JPS, the island's main power provider, previously said up to 30,000 of its 692,000 customers lost power after Rafael passed near Jamaica between Tuesday and Wednesday. It triggered flooding and landslides in several parishes. The company faced significant public and government backlash over its response to the effect of Hurricane Beryl in July. Remember to subscribe, like, share, and click the notification bell for daily updates.